Mitch Raposo, Fall River, Massachusetts. I'm 22 years old.
Awesome, Mitch. Appreciate you joining us. Talk about your journey, man. How did this martial arts path begin for you?
I started training when I was about 12 years old. I kind of just I had a neighbor that was into it, and I was always scrapping with my older brothers, and I kind of was just like an aggressive kid. And then I went to a gym, and it kind of just stuck. I was always an athlete growing up, but I started at 12, and it's like I never left. I was training 5-6 days a week when I was 12, 13 years old.
That's awesome. Was it just like BJJ, or were you doing striking, everything at that point?
Full on MMA from the start. Yeah, I started wrestling in high school just to be more well-rounded for fighting. I turned down a lot of like college wrestling scholarships just to fight as soon as I turned 18.
That's crazy. So 12, 13, were you already thinking, maybe I'll do this for a living?
I was more into like I loved the aggressive aspect of it and being like competitive. But then as soon as people started telling me that one day I could be in the UFC, I kind of just it's like that kind of like a brain like switch, you know. Like I was like crazy enough to think that I could actually do it, and I just followed through and stood consistent, and it just every single day just came more and more of like a reality as I got older.
That's awesome. Still young. Has this been your full-time passion? I mean, did you go to college at all, or did you have work at all, or?
No, actually, I train full-time. I have two very supportive parents, my dad and my mom. My dad just wants me to focus on fighting, and I do like personal training, things like that, just to stay within the gym, but he supports me full-time just because he wants me to focus on fighting. And I'm obviously so blessed for that because I know how hard it is to work and train because I see all my training partners do it, but this is full-time. This is what I'm going to do the rest of my life.
Nice. Already an impressive record early in your career. How would you evaluate your professional career so far?
I honestly feel, to quote Kamaru Usman, you only seen about 30%.
That got him in trouble when he made that quote, by the way.
But yeah, I'm still learning, man. I'm 22 years old. I'm still a baby in the game, but I'm far ahead of my time. You know, I train with guys like Rob Font, Calvin Kattar, so I see what the top level is like. And I mean, I'm not impressed with my fights at all. Obviously, I want to keep getting better, and this is kind of the next step for that to get to that next level.
The show's been gone for a couple years, so I mean, had you ever considered being on The Ultimate Fighter at all?
It's kind of a trip, man. Like I remember being in middle school and thinking, you know, and me and my buddies would watch the Mayhem Miller Bisping season and John Dotson and Dillashaw, and we used to always talk about how crazy it would be one day if I got on the show. And when they kind of found out that I was going to be on it, it was a trip. It's crazy, you know. I knew I could get to the UFC, I just didn't know how. And The Ultimate Fighter is such a great way because you learn so much, and I'm obviously so young, and I need some experience, and I feel like this is going to close that gap for me.
Was there any consideration, like, is this the right path or not? Like, it's cool to be on it, it's great exposure, but you know, I think a lot of people thought there was buzz around you already that maybe you could get there. So did you have to consider, or was it just yes, we're going?
I mean, you got to take any opportunity you can get in the sport, you know. And I feel like, yeah, I definitely think where my life is going and where my career is going is definitely, I'm going to be in the UFC, and I want to be one of the best fighters in the world one day. So when I saw this opportunity, I only see growth. You know, this is an experience that is going to only make me better. Training with guys like Volkanovski or Ortega, I'm going to come back from this so much better. And it was a no-brainer for me. It's obviously a tough experience, but it's going to make me such a better competitor at the end of the day, and that's what I'm excited for.
Nice. Last thing for me, obviously, I mean, you're still young. I mean, it's still early in your career, but do you feel UFC ready at this point?
Absolutely, man. Like I said, I want to get to the UFC, and I can drop down to 125. I can fight at 135. I have a lot of options, and I feel like this is gonna show people I definitely am ready. And from this is gonna give me that experience to even make sure I'm ready, right? And that's kind of what I'm like looking forward to. So I'm excited to see.
You said, you know, you're 22, training full time, been training for so long already. Are you this next generation of fighter that we always hear about?
Absolutely, man. That's kind of the way I see it. You know, I'm very well-rounded for a kid my age, and I don't care if I'm fighting a wrestler, a striker. It doesn't really matter to me. You know, I feel like I always have a way to win, and I'm a winner at the end of the day. I'm very game. Win, lose, or draw, I'm coming to win. And, you know, it's going to be a tough fight for anybody, and that's kind of I am that next generation of guys coming up. That's it.